Okay, we are back with part 2 of our top tips for presenting to camera. There is so much to pack into this incredibly important topic that I wanted to make it into 2 videos. As we learned in the last video, getting talking headshots right is incredibly important to not only keeping your students engaged throughout the course, but also to help sell your course. Potential customers will want to watch some sample footage from your course before committing to purchase. If they don't think they can learn from you, they definitely won't buy from you. In the last lesson, we talked about using facial expressions and body language for emphasizing your points, and the importance of keeping good eye contact with the audience. We also learned how to keep your voice sounding natural and engaging. So in this lesson, we're going to be building on all of that advice by introducing 5 more tips. And we start with variety of body language. We talked before about the importance of body language. It's easy to slip into bad habits here where you always move your arms in the same way or use the same hand gestures, which then could become repetitive. The goal is to have various gestures and movements in your toolbox so your audience doesn't pick up on repetition or become distracted by it. There is no need for Shakespearean dramatics. The goal is to simply add interest by using a variety of gestures. Tip 2, comfort. Make sure you are comfortable when delivering your speech. Personally, I enjoy delivering my talking headshots sitting down, as then all I need to think about is the words in front of me and who I'm directing them to. On the other hand, some people I've worked with find it more comfortable to stand up, which is fine too. As well as sitting down, I prefer to lean on a desk as it feels more natural to me. And by leaning forwards, it feels like I'm really engaging with the audience. Remember, there is no right or wrong approach here. Just do what's most comfortable for you and helps you act natural in front of the camera. If you're not sure, I recommend that you experiment with some different approaches to find what works for you. Tip number 3, dial it up. This is an important one because unfortunately, what feels natural to you will most likely come off as boring and unengaged on camera. You really need to dial it up to appear fun and interesting, which means more energy and being extra expressive. A good rule of thumb is that if it feels dramatic and over the top to you, it probably looks good on camera. Remember, you're a presenter now, so act like one. The thing I always say to my students is that it's so much easier to bring it down a notch than try to ramp it up bit by bit by bit. So when you first try this, go way over the top. Then you can review the footage and see how much you need to tone it down by. That way, you've done all the hard work and all you'll need to do is relax a bit rather than push yourself to give more and more. Moving on to tip number 4, practice. There's no way around it, folks. Practice makes perfect. Psychologists have found that 10,000 hours of practice can make you an expert in anything, even if you have very little natural talent when you start. If you improve in something by 1% every day, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better at it compared to when you started. Don't believe me? Download the worksheet where I've demonstrated how this is true. Small improvements soon add up to a massive change. The more you prepare and practice, the better you will get at speaking in front of the camera. The more you do it, the better you get. There are no shortcuts. If you're struggling to feel comfortable on camera, the best way to get better is to confront that discomfort and practice. Don't be afraid of retakes. I've spent hours reshooting clips just because I couldn't get them right. I've done the same thing with many of these course videos too. There is nothing at all wrong with saying a line again and again and again. The more you practice though, the easier it will get. And our final tip, be authentic. It's really important not to change your personality for these course videos. You have to be your authentic self. If you're not, I promise that your audience will see right through it. The tips I have given you in this section will help you be your best self rather than a camera-shy version of yourself. They should encourage your presentation style, not transform it into someone else's. At the end of the day, you're here to teach your students a particular skill that you have, so be proud of who you are. There is no one-size-fits-all approach for being good on camera. I'm definitely not perfect, but these tips have come from my experience both in front of the camera and behind the camera. I've seen it from both sides. I hope you've learned something from these tips, so now I want you to put them into action before watching the next lesson. Remember, the more you practice and watch yourself back, the better you will get.